Hello, friends. This is Sam Cheney reporting for Weaponized News. Today, December 26th, 2025. Thank you for joining us on this Friday edition of Weaponized News after Christmas. It's a federal holiday today, declared by Trump through executive order. The feds are not working as much today, so we don't have the usual dose of propaganda. It just comes right from the chief executive, from Trump himself, which MAGA loves. They're building out this technocracy using every excuse under the sun as the reason why. We care about the children, we care about the drug overdoses, we care about illegal immigration, we care about the price of energy. Well, maybe they do care about the price of energy because that's what is fueling this entire technocracy. And not many people are reporting on it, sadly, but that is the case. I asked AI Gronk to generate a map of the technate. And if you take a look at the thumbnail of today's show, it explains a whole heck of a lot. And they create all of these sub counter narratives to act like they care about the children. We know that. Feds love that. But here it is. Here it is. The North American technate, part of one world government agenda in a new world order in the new era. As we continue to report here at Weaponized News, Trump's not fighting for American sovereignty. He's not fighting to make America great. It's all a cover to snow you idiot Republican conservatives. I'm sorry to report to you here now. Trump's a New York liberal. And so you've all been snowed, head faked, wrap yourself in the flag, blind yourself with idiocy as Trump bombs for Christians on Christmas. Extremely satanic, extremely wrong, but they don't care. They cheered on. And so you're going to get what you're going to get for being blind fools. Here's the map of the North American technate as per generated by the leader of it all, X, Gronk, Elon Musk, or at least the front man leader of it all, public front man. Here it is. And so here you have it. Why is Trump always talking about Greenland? He just mentioned that again. We need Greenland for national security purposes. Well, no, they need Greenland to complete the North American technate. Why is Trump, he's just trolling Canada about making it the 51st state here now. No, it's part of the North American technate. Well, he renamed the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf America because MAGA, America first. No, it's part of the technate. Well, he's fighting the war on drugs in the Caribbean because he cares about American overdose deaths on fentanyl. No, it's part of the technate, you see. Venezuela, Colombia, and so on, to seize all of this area. Seize all of this area. Seize all of this area because it's part of the North American technate, which is part of the larger one world government agenda, technocracy. Maybe someday, some way, somehow, it'll be too late. It's already too late. It's probably already too late. But that's what's going on here. That's what's going on. And all their cover stories about they care, F off, government. F off. As they're simultaneously running continuous human experimentations about how is the most efficient way to depopulate. We may not even have a choice. Well, we're not going to have a choice here real quick. We probably don't even have a choice now, you see. But hey, cheered on, act like idiots, blame liberals and Democrats. Your eyes have been closed. You've been snowed. You've been conned by Trump and the Republicans. And the Democrats are part of it too. So the government, you see, here now. Ay, ay, ay. It's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating to be reporting on this for what, 15 years here now, at least at Weaponized News. We're on the internet. If we're not banned, we are delisted everywhere, throttled. Give us that like, share, subscribe, push that notification button. We're on Access Television here in Fresno County. We've been on AM radio. We've been on FM radio. We're doing as much as we possibly humanly can with basically a budget of zero here now. And so we appreciate your support. Give us a donation, a subscription. Go to Weaponized News Store. Help us out here. Help us out here. I'm wearing my silver shirt today. Kind of gray, but we'll call it silver, right? In honor of silver all-time record highs, I believe gold all-time record highs as well. There's no inflation. It's the golden age. The economy's in real rough shape here now. We're waiting for the fallout. What's going to happen to these big banks that had these short positions all over the place, artificially suppressing the precious metals market? It looks like it's broken through all of the paper suppression. And so who knows where it's going now? China is, what do the reports say? They're banning exports. And we're hearing news out of Samsung that they've got this new battery technology. Silver is going to be an integral part in mass production. And it goes on and on and on. But yeah, that's where we're at here now. Technocracy. It's all leading to one place, technocracy. As it sure does look like this, all these moves are soft power transfers to the east from the west, all the time waving the flag. We care, and they keep everybody fighting about Republican, Democrat here. The big geopolitical moves are Trump is ushering America out and bringing in a new world order, a new era here now. As we continue to report here at Weaponized News. Continuing here. What do we have in the news today? We got stories here and there. Don't threaten the government. Some other guy gets arrested for threatening the government. We got exposing Somali fraud in Somaliland? No, Somali fraud in Minnesota. Somaliland has been officially recognized by Aardvark Land, and nobody likes it except for Aardvark Land and, of course, America. We'll cover that. I did a little trolling on old Gavin Newsom as reported, Tuesday, that indeed California, the fraud capital of America, and somehow, some way, they love it here. They just love fraud. I don't even know how to describe it. You have to live here and live through it to understand truly the level of absurdity, fraud. I'll get to the example here locally that I know firsthand, but according to Congressman Kevin Kiley out of the Yuba City area, the high-speed rail has been conceded to defeat by Newsom. We'll cover that. We got record gold, record silver prices. Cover that a little bit. Then we have the technocracy. What is this really all about? We're gonna, right from Mr. Technocracy frontman himself, Elon Musk. We're gonna tell you. We got the report right here. What he says about what the economy's really about, where it's going, as they keep pumping AI, pumping humanoid robots, pumping technocracy. What else do we got? Bombing for peace on Christmas Day, allegedly for Christians. They don't give a damn about Christians. Are you this effing stupid, Christians? Apparently you are. You need to pray that you wouldn't be, that you'd have, you know, be able to see what's really going on here and see if you believe this government cares about your religious faith or Christians. You got another thing coming because they're dark occultists. Okay. And that's just the truth of the matter. Look at the freaking dollar with the pyramid with the all-seeing eye on it, on the back of it. And we could go on and on and on with the proof of this. And so that who is your government working with the private central bank cartel to oppress us, bankrupt us, and terminate us, as has been the story and will continue to be the story, that somehow, some way, it's the Democrats, it's the Republicans. Grow up, stop being children, is my only advice at this point. Because it's all right there. Yeah, bombing. So Trump announced that CENTCOM bombed Nigeria, allegedly striking ISIS terrorists on Christmas in retaliation for ISIS radical Muslim attacks on Christians, allegedly. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. All this is cover. All this is cover for the military-industrial complex to continue the endless war on terror. You see, we're 25 years in. They don't care. There's an ISIS. Well, you created that. You created it. You funded it. You armed them. You radicalized them. Western intelligence did that. And they have, not very bright. And of course, you'd be pissed off. Oh, yeah, they're bombing my country. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, you're going to be pissed off. And so they know all this. And the psychological warfare chiefs, I guess, continue the never-ending war on terror. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. America laps it up. Oh, there's a Muslim over there. How's any of this any of our business? It's not, but it doesn't matter. We get to drop a bunch more bombs and keep the never-ending war on terror going, all fabricated by our own Department of War. Here now, you see? Okay, we're getting all this reporting. We got 1 year into MAHA. What does that look like with Bobby Kennedy Jr. leading the Department of Health and Human Services? We've got geopolitical news. There has been no, we didn't get peace for Christmas in Russia, Ukraine. Old Bibi, shadow president of America, of genocide fame out of Aardvark land, is coming to visit Trump once again. And Zelensky allegedly is going to visit Trump in this coming week. And then there's alleged, I don't know if they're going to meet in person, probably not, a meeting with Putin. And so we're still waiting for that 24 hours after Trump said, elect me, 24 hours. There'll be a peace deal there in Ukraine and Russia war. We're a year in here now, and they're still killing the hell out of each other. Very sad there, state of affairs. All that to cover and much more on this Friday edition of Weaponized News. Yeah, and ceasefire in Gaza and Lebanon, total, it's just not true. It's not true. Every day I read the news, oh yeah, heavy artillery fire, helicopters chain gunning, you step outside the yellow line, they whack you, just never-ending drone strikes on Lebanon, on Gaza, here and there in Syria, here and there we're going to branch out into Yemen, and it just continues. It continues here now. All that reporting and much more on this Friday edition of Weaponized News. Thank you for joining us here now. Let's get to this day in history, and then we'll get to all the news of the day for you. On this day in history, the day after Christmas, December 26th, going back to the year 1776, because we revel that 1776 here. American Revolutionary War, George Washington leads U.S. troops to defeat Hessians at the Battle of Trenton in New Jersey on this day, 1776. 1799, George Washington is eulogized by Colonel Henry Lee as, quote, first in war, first in peace, and first in hearts of his countrymen. In 1848, on this day, it was reported first gold seekers arrive in Panama en route to San Francisco. Are we going to see a large explosion here now in gold mining again? Looks like it may very well be, with the price of gold where it is. In 1862, on this day, the largest mass execution in U.S. history, 38 Dakota men were executed via hanging in the aftermath of the U.S. Dakota War in Mankato, Minnesota. Largest mass public execution in U.S. history on this day, 1862. 1941 on this day, and did this complete the circle of UK Big Brother here now pulling the strings on America. 1941 on this day, Winston Churchill becomes the first British Prime Minister to address a joint meeting of the U.S. Congress, warning that access would stop at nothing, right? Well, anytime a foreign leader comes and warns that their enemies, well, it's imminent, then of course we have to go to war for them, right? Yeah, Congress agrees. So back there in 1941, of course, the access would stop at nothing. And then fast forward to today, Bibi comes over here. Oh yeah, Iran has a nuke in 2 weeks. We got to bomb them. Oh, hell yeah, Mr. Shadow President Bibi. I'm sure back then, well, the access powers won't stop. Well, hell yeah, Mr. Shadow President Churchill. You know what I mean? It's where we're at. Sadly enough here in America. But wrap yourself in the flag and go die in illegal foreign warfare aggression. It's war's a racket. And remember the NDA they just signed, 18 years and older, you will be automatically enrolled for selective service and conscription or potential conscription. As the economy falters, what are they going to do? Take us to war. 1946 on this day, Flamingo Hilton in Las Vegas opens, start of an era. 1963 on this day, U.S. furnishes cereal to USSR, but I thought we were in a Cold War, we got to beat the commies. Yeah, but we're still feeding their people there in the Soviet Union because we're in a Cold War against them. In 1973 on this day, and I found this funny, they should have released it on Christmas. That would have been the ultimate, but they probably thought for that time it was too over the top. Horror film The Exorcist premieres on this day in 1973. And so The Exorcist is essentially a Christmas movie. In 1982 on this day, Time Magazine's Man of the Year is the computer. And we saw Time Magazine's Man of the Year this year was the technocracy, essentially. The front men puppet CEOs that are behind setting up the technocracy. So we've come quite a long way here now from 1982 when Time Magazine's Man of the Year was a computer. In 2024, on this day, we saw, thankfully, because we don't want anything to ever happen to old Tedros, head of the World Health Organization, as he saved us from the bats. He's looking to save us from birds, bats, you name it. They're going to save us at the WHO, right? YouTube, you know it. So time flies. It definitely does. On this day, just a year ago in 2024, aardvark airstrikes on Houthi targets in Yemen narrowly miss WHO director Tedros. Do we really believe this? I don't know. There's video at the time. Did they narrowly miss him? I don't know. They always love to play the victim, right? But hey, he did save the world, and he continues to save the world from the problems they create. So, I mean, all hail Tedros YouTube there. Thankfully, aardvarks missed them with that airstrike last year on this day in Yemen. All right. And then our civil liberties history. On this day of December 26th in the year 2002, the Washington Compost exposes CIA extraordinary renditions. The Washington Post exposed on this day the CIA extraordinary renditions, a previously secret program in which the CIA kidnapped alleged terrorist suspects from around the world and transported them to secret prisons where they were interrogated and in some cases tortured. Initially, suspects were transferred to cooperating countries, primarily Egypt, where they were detained and tortured. When the number of renditions grew, however, the CIA created its own network of secret prisons around the world. Several existed in European countries with secret cooperation of their governments. The practice of extraordinary renditions began in the 1990s and was used sparingly. Well, thankfully, Bill Clinton, by then President Bill Clinton, we know he has a heart for young girls, excuse me. It was greatly expanded by President George W. Bush after 9/11 as part of the war on terror. So maybe idiot MAGA someday, some way. You can cheer on. Trump never lies. The Department of War never lies. They really are legitimate in their concerns about keeping America safe. Even if all that's true, it will be abused by the next administration, even though none of that's true. But they can't seem to grasp anything. It's like we're dealing with Somalis with a 70 IQ. I thought these were smart Americans. Not so much. Not so much, you see. So congratulations, MAGA. You're all now Bush neocons that cheer on illegal foreign wars of aggression. And you're still buying the bullshit. They're ISIS terrorists. And they're keeping us safe in the never-ending war on terror. God help us. Do we even have a segue to the news? Let's see. We don't even have a segue video today. So here's is this the Qatari plane? Of course, the White House, again, on vacation today, so we don't have much propaganda out of there, just Trump. But they did post this today. This is the Qatari plane, America First, 250, sponsored by Technocracy. They leave that part out. So that's the propaganda from Trump out of the White House today. Oh, yeah, it's wonderful. America First, 250. So, yeah, the North American Technate, i.e. the thumbnail, it's that puts context behind all of these all the wars It consists of United States, Canada, Mexico, Central America, the Caribbean islands, Greenland, even parts of northern South America, Colombia, Venezuela, and what they got Argentina sewed up. They got what the hell's the other one? I can't remember now. They're sewing it up here now. They're sewing it up. And so that is your North American Technate, North American Union by another name. And so that's the real reason why these countries are being targeted. It's not to keep you safe from drugs. It's not to fight communism. It's to build the North American Technate, which is a region in the one world government of technocracy. Trump yelling here now on his Truth Social, yelling about the filibuster, all caps, right? Yelling. Terminate the filibuster, not just for the shutdown, but for everything else. We will get all of our common sense policies approved. See, very short-term thinking, because as soon as the alleged bad guys or the enemies or the opposition here now to making America great, the Democrats get in charge, what do you think they're going to do? Ram through all of their policies that the right-wing Republicans have been jumping up and down, screaming about for years. They're going to pack the Supreme Court. They're going to make the territory of Puerto Rico and what's the other one? A bunch of them. They're going to make them states, and they're all going to be Democrat strongholds. Well, what the hell? Just terminate the filibuster, as Trump says, and that will happen a lot faster than you could ever dream here now. He went on to say, we will get all of our common sense policies approved, voter ID, anyone, and make America great again. Remember, the Democrats will do it immediately. So see, he even admits it, but this is what you're leaving open for them, Trump, you New York liberal. He knows this. As soon as they get the chance, are doing it will not give them the chance. Republicans, be tough, strong. The Dems are crazed lunatics. Are they? Are they? Now they're the government, all part of the political theater, going along with the plan of taking away our freedom and increasing tyranny to the point of technocracy. They will not open up our country, no matter how many people are irreparably harmed. And so even backhandedly admits there in that post. Now the DOJ, as reported on Tuesday, is saying, oh yeah, we found another million Epstein files, right? They broke the law already. Where's law and order, justice? No one at the Justice Department is in trouble for breaking the law, for not providing all of the Epstein files at the date the law said to, and a lot of redactions. They screwed that whole thing up. I saw one report, people are speculating, why would they do this? Was it an inside leaker trying to expose Trump? Was it the fact that backhandedly the vision of Elon Musk to part of Doge to stop paying for unused government subscriptions to Adobe, right? So make of it what you will, but it is true that some of the PDF files that are redacted can easily be unredacted if you cut and paste them into a Word document. That is true here now. I believe I've seen enough reports of it and people doing it. I don't even waste my time. I don't even want any of this Epstein crap on my computer, honestly. I went there to the DOJ and started downloading it, and I was like, no, I don't even want this crap. You know what I mean? You guys keep it, DOJ. You're the damn criminals. It belongs with you. I don't want any of this crap. So here's what Trump had to say today about the Epstein files. Oh, it's a still Democrat hoax. Now, 1 million more pages on Epstein are found. DOJ is being forced to spend all of its time on this Democrat-inspired hoax. When do we say no more and work on election fraud? I don't know. You've been in there a year. I don't know, Trump. You're the chief executive. The Dems are the ones who worked with Epstein, not the Republicans. Again, left, right, it's all the Democrats. There was never any Republican. This always reminds me, and I don't hear anybody in, quote, conservative media ever even talk about, hey, remember Dennis Hastert, your Republican Speaker of the House, a convicted child molester? Yeah, it's Republicans too. Sorry to tell you, Republicans. You know what I mean? As one example of many, many, many child molesting Republicans. So this is an utter farce that, oh yeah, it's just Democrats. Give me a freaking break. It's the government. Release all of their names, embarrass them, and get back to helping our country as if. As if that's what the government does. The radical left doesn't want people talking about Trump and Republican success. Only a long ago dead Jeffrey Epstein, just another witch hunt. Really? That's where Trump's at on it. He's not going to move. He's not going to budge. And so there you go. There you go. And what did it come out in the latest batch? Oh yeah, Trump did fly on Epstein's plane a bunch of times. He said, I barely even knew the guy. What? Huh? Yeah, it's just a Democrat hoax. Bullshit. So we're going to wait for them. They're already in violation in spirit and actual letter of the law here now. When are lawyers at the Justice Department going to be in trouble? Never, because they're above the law. You and I, Joe Blow, citizens, spit on the sidewalk. They're coming after us. They can do whatever, spin whatever lie. It doesn't matter. Violate the law in everybody's face. Oh, yeah, we just found 1 million documents. Really? Really? Don't threaten the government. Don't threaten these criminals. Get aware of it. Prepare as best you can. Inform your circle of influence, your friends, family, neighbors, and acquaintances that indeed the government is a crime syndicate. But don't be an idiot and go out there and threaten them, because they will come down on you. Here's another idiot. St. Charles man accused of threatening Governor Kehoe and his family. So stupid. He's threatening the Missouri governor. The man's now facing charges, accused of making threats on social media against Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe and his family. He's charged with first-degree stalking and first-degree harassment. He made a Facebook post threatening Kehoe and his family. Authorities say they found and arrested Mertz, this idiot, on December 19th in Dayton Beach, Florida. Police say he had a loaded gun when he was arrested. He's being held in a Florida jail waiting extradition back to Missouri. Don't be this idiot. Daniel N. Mertz. Don't give the state the pleasure. Don't do it. You'll be a lot better trolling them than making threats of violence against them, because we should all know by now that the state has a monopoly on violence. Here's old Zohar, what's his name? Zoran Mamdani. We're still waiting to see if he will enforce the international arrest warrants against Bibby, shadow president of America, if he visits New York as he has promised. I have serious doubts that he won't. But New York now is, thankfully, we can applaud it all, right? New York City has now appointed the first LGBTQ fire chief, head of the fire department there in New York City, first openly gay commissioner. And so we do applaud those efforts. They have no experience. They've never actually worked in the field as a firefighter. Who cares? They have LGBTQ. And we saw that same thing in Los Angeles, the Pacific Palisades fire, if you can remember. I forget, I don't remember off the top of my head if that woman had experience actually on the boots on the ground fighting fires, but massive failure there, right? But what the hell? She was the first lesbian, fire chief. So, I mean, that's really all that matters. Complete disaster failure on all fronts, on all accounts for the Pacific Palisades and other Southern California fires that wrecked the whole area at the beginning of last year. And we see it repeated here again. Now, let's watch this report. At least, they'll be gay. I don't know what else to say. Yay.
Lillian Bonsignor is a career first responder. In just 9 days, she'll be running the world's busiest fire department, one of the most important appointments of the incoming administration.
And they deserve a leader who cares about their work because she did it herself, who understands every detail and who will fight tirelessly to empower FDNY and make it the best firefighting force in the world.
Lillian Bonsignor began her career as an EMT in 1991 and was ultimately promoted to chief of the city's EMS division, where she served for 3 years before retiring in 2022. Although she never served as a firefighter, she's confident that won't matter.
I know the job. I know what the firefighters need, and I can translate that to this administration who's willing to listen. I know what EMS needs. I have been EMS for 30 plus years.
Bonsignor is a trailblazer for the LGBTQ community, who will serve as the FDNY's first openly gay commissioner. She's a highly respected
That's really all that matters, right? Right. And so expect giant failures coming out of New York Fire Department. It's utterly ridiculous. That's where we're at here now with these jokers. And I still don't think old Ma'am Danny has the balls to arrest Bibby on an international criminal court arrest warrant for genocide if he goes to New York City. I don't think this joker will do it. What else do we got here? More ridiculousness. Florida Democrat Representative Sheila McCormick is already under fire for her November indictment on stealing $5 million in FEMA bat relief funds. Now she just got called out for airbrushing her $109,000 yellow diamond ring bought with pilfered cash right before the holiday. Here's the image. It's just beyond ridiculous. But she's black. Maybe she's gay too. They don't say she's close enough. You know what I mean? So there you go. For Christmas, Merry Christmas, Florida District 20. Where's that fancy $100,000 ring? Oh, well, I got lost in a fire, I guess. It's just beyond the government is a crime syndicate. We prove it every day here, almost every broadcast. But just in general, government in and of itself is a crime syndicate, you see. And to have the naive notion that somehow these people represent you it's childish at this point now, isn't it? Let's all grow up and realize these people have their own self-interest at heart. And they could give a damn about their constituents, about being humble civil servants, or any of this nonsense that they feed us all day, because it's a damn crime syndicate. and they're in government to exploit and profiteer as much as they possibly can off of the back of the idiot taxpayers here in America. Operation Bad Santa busts 12 New Jersey men in child sex sting. A dozen New Jersey men walked into what they thought would be a meeting with a minor and instead found themselves under arrest in a multi-day law enforcement operation. The suspects, aged 23 to 65, were caught in, quote, Operation Bad Santa, a sting led by Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office between December 8th and the 15th. And it just seems there's no end to these child molesters. There's a bunch of them. Operation Bad Santa. So they got a bunch of them. There's just no end to these bastards, man. Seems like no end to it. So you got all the way to the top, the Epsteins, all the way to the bottom, these clowns. There's no end to these evil bastards going after children. Quite despicable indeed. Feed them to the wood chipper if they're 100% guilty, and we can prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt, of course, with a trial and all of that due process that goes along with it. On to the Somali fraud, not the bombing of Somalia by America, over 100, and it's over 100 times. It's like every day. Maybe they're bombing them right now, like 112 times, I believe, last time I checked. Probably more than that by now. Not America, CENTCOM bombing Somalia. These are the Somalias that we brought back over here in Minnesota, little Somalia now. Why do they hate us and want to do fraud? I don't know, blowing up their country. This report's out of Ohio, so that's a bright thing to do, right? Go bomb them and bring them over here and be like, why are they mad at us? They're terrorists, bad immigrants. Kind of your own fault. No? Blowback, anybody? Some Somali-run grocery store in Ohio, grocery stores in Ohio are accused of using food stamp cards to buy bulk ingredients, then quietly funneling the goods into nearby cash-only restaurants. The kicker, it's all in the same family. They own the store, the restaurant, and the welfare card. Fake losses help dodge taxes, and the real money never sees a bank. One reporter found men allegedly using multiple wives to multiple welfare payouts. That scam's going on a long time. Each wife applies separately, as if single. Nobody verifies anything. No one is cross-checking immigration status, marriage, or business ties. ICE used to chase this. Now it's hands off, and taxpayers are left footing the bill for a scam hiding in plain sight. There's video making the rounds of these reporters. Who's this guy? Nick Shirley went to a daycare in Minnesota, Somalia. It got $2.6 million, but had 0 children. Let's play this. He's confronting them here, looking for children. Let's take a look at this shortly. Short video.
Children here in your child care?
Which child care, ma'am? Is a lot of
Minnesota Child Care right here. It's from the state of Minnesota's website. We're just wondering where the children are.
Where the children are?
Yeah, where are the children? It says you have 102 children here, and you got $2.66 million this year in funding, and $2.5 million last year. We're just wondering where the kids are.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
And where are you? Which department?
Oh, we are from ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. Look at that. Shut us down. Where are the children at? No children inside of this daycare center. And look, at this daycare center right here, no children inside of this daycare center. But between those buildings, over $2.6 million. We're
Children here in your child care?
Yeah, they care about the children. And it goes on and on and on. Of course, the government had to, and they're getting kickbacks as well, obviously, to allow this to go on. Minnesota Lieutenant Governor puts on hijab, says Somalis built the state. Let's watch this video. Maybe they did. Everything is built on fraud. Maybe they just were taking it out of context, what she's saying. Let's watch this video.
Assalamu alaikum. My name's Peggy Flanagan. I am the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, and I'm really honored and humbled to be here with all of you today. I am incredibly clear that the Somali community is part of the fabric of the state of Minnesota. I think about my friendship with Nimco. We've been friends for almost 25 years. And when I think of being part of Minnesota and growing up here, the Somali community has always been a part of my Minnesota. So I want to just encourage the community to know that we're with you. We've got your back. I am here shopping today, and just encourage other folks to show up, support our Somali businesses, support our immigrant neighbors. And I know that things are scary right now. And just know that there are more people who are looking out for you. There are more people who are here to support you than you know. I will continue to stand with the Somali community to be with you and to do all I can to return the friendship and community that the Somali community has shown me. Thank you so much.
Did she convert to Islam? Why is she wearing that hood? It's just political pandering. I don't know. Flanagan there sounds Irish to me, but looks like maybe she converted to Islam. Looks like political pandering to me. Somali fraudster let off in Minnesota. Jury says guilty. Judge says no. And so even if convicted by a jury, let's watch this report. Let's watch this report out of Minnesota.
Big reversal in a $7.2 million fraud case in Hennepin County. The judge has thrown out the jury's guilty verdict.
This wasn't some technical hiccup. These fraudsters, Abdelfatah Yusuf and Lul Ahmed, were convicted on 6 counts of charges, months of evidence, a jury that deliberated for hours, all erased in one ruling.
Yusuf and his wife, Lul Ahmed, were charged with stealing $7.2 million of taxpayer money through Medicaid overbilling in a personal care assistant, or PCA, scam. The couple allegedly spent tens of thousands of the fraud money.
And here's the part that rattled people inside the system. The judge didn't say the fraud didn't happen. She said the state couldn't prove who was responsible, which raised this question on everyone's minds. If a case this obvious can't hold, what happens to the rest? Because this ruling hit while Minnesota is already buried under billion-dollar fraud scandals, overseas money trails, and growing federal probes into how taxpayer money keeps disappearing. And here's the twist most people missed. Once that verdict collapsed, the issue stopped being one defendant. It became about whether Minnesota's system can still enforce fraud at all, or whether the feds are stepping in because the state no longer can. And that's where this story really starts. Here's why this case collapsing came out of nowhere and was shocking for most people. This wasn't a messy jury split or a hung panel. It was a unanimous guilty verdict, and that's because all the facts were on the prosecution's side. The fraudulent couple had a home healthcare business that barely existed, and billing Minnesota's Medicaid program for services that either weren't documented or never happened at all. But that wasn't all.
The jury heard evidence that he ran his home healthcare company, Promise Health, out of a mailbox at a Central Avenue address where multiple other home healthcare companies were supposedly located.
And what's more, they followed the money and found a whole lot of it in Abdelfatah's accounts. Over $1 million moved from the business into personal accounts. Nearly $400,000 withdrawn in cash. You might be thinking, what could they have possibly needed that much money for? Well, according to prosecutors, they splurged it on luxury purchases, mansions, luxury vacations, a lifestyle that stood out immediately because it didn't exactly line up with their paycheck.
The files documenting spending sprees in which defendants, get this, took taxpayer money that was obviously meant to feed hungry kids during the pandemic, and instead they used it to buy fancy cars, property, jewelry.
And when jurors heard all that evidence, it only took them a few hours to reach a verdict. The jury foreperson later said this about the case.
It was not a difficult decision whatsoever. The deliberation took probably 4 hours at most, based off of the state's evidence that was presented.
Well, at least the judge cleared them. And what do you expect when everything's a fraud? And hey, some people may say that's a very efficient use of your business mind there, Somali, running your whole operation out of a mailbox. So don't threaten these politicians or government workers with violence. They will come after you. What you should do is troll them, as I did here for old Newsom and his partner. They put out this message, and they're monsters. And all signs point toward this is going to be the Democrat nominee. And so we'll have, like every other election, no choice. You have J.D. Vance, Mr. Technocracy over there, or Mr. Call Me Technocracy, friggin' California Psycho Newsom. So, but I advise trolling them until they make that illegal, and that's probably coming soon as well. But here it is. Our family wishes you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday. Oh, I forgot, with these jokers, these lying criminals, and they are, it's not just hyperbole. Newsom, the unofficial stepson of the Getty family, a rich, white, male, elitist, everything the quote liberal Democrats say they hate, he's their hero for some reason beyond me. But here's their family Christmas photo. All well and good, right? Well, turns out I made my own. I said, is that Weinstein hiding in the bushes? See, I put Weinstein in there. Let me show you. There we go. Put Weinstein right there, hiding in the bushes. Because apparently there was some hanky-panky going on here between Newsom's wife, old Jennifer, and Weinstein. Was it the casting couch? Was it consensual? She did testify in one of his Me Too trials that he raped her. But then it was very sketchy. Like, was it consensual? I don't know. But there's old Weinstein hiding in the bushes there. As a pervert freak that he is for these psychos. They look like the All-American Family, but don't be fooled. California Psycho. And this woman is just California Psycho wife. You know what I mean? So that's what we got to look forward to here in California. And America's going to get to see these bastards real soon. He's campaigning all over the country already. But sadly, and it doesn't matter. What's your record? Oh, complete failure. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Newsom just conceded defeat over high-speed rail. He's withdrawn the lawsuit he filed after the feds after Congress cut off federal funding earlier this year. Now the $4 billion can go to the roads rather than the train. And there's a gas tax here in California, 25 cents on every gallon, allegedly to fund the high-speed rail. No one can account for any of those monies, and the fraud. No one gets in trouble. And just steal as much as you possibly can, and shame everybody for being bad people. And that's what we live under the tyranny of here in California. The cost of the high-speed rail has grown to $128 billion as no track has been laid in 17 years. Let's report Kylie, congressman out of Yuba City area. Here's the press release. And so it looks like, but they were bragging. I remember at the time, because we've been covering the high-speed rail for a long time, as it runs right through my area here. The bridge to nowhere, essentially. Here's the press release. I don't know what these, should we feel bad for the con artists that have stolen so much from the California taxpayers? Very sadly here now. And like how they do it right at the Christmas, around Christmas, so no one's paying attention. Sadly, California high-speed rail launches process to withdraw in private investors. California high-speed rail solicits industry to bring private partner consortium on board by summer. Who would invest in it? It's a horrible investment. The only way is you have to have some kind of insider deal with the government, kickbacks. Who knows what they'll cook up? But for private investment to say, oh yeah, this is a good investment and we're going to get a return, give me a freaking break. So we'll keep following it as the federal funding has fallen off. Onto the economy now. Oh yeah, and I missed, by the way, happy Kwanzaa. I guess Kwanzaa's today, fake made up holiday. Who cares? We got to signal our wokeness. We salute Kwanzaa, literally made up BS. Don't matter. So happy Kwanzaa out there. Silver all-time high. I got my silver shirt on. It's a record breaking. Let's take a look at the COMEX. And you can see right there, 70, almost broke 80 today, $79.67. Jeez Louise. Gold. Is this all-time record high? Pretty damn close. Gold's pushing highs every day too. I believe it's went a little higher than this, but still pretty damn high, right? $4,562. It closed on the COMEX today. And so not good signs. Look for some fallout from a bunch of these banks that have shorted the markets, rigged things up for like what, last 50 years, 40 years, a long freaking time. They've been artificially suppressing the price, right? And it looks like it's finally broken through here now, and we may have true price discovery in the market, and that will cause a lot of problems for these banks, and they deserve it, but it's going to ripple down on to affect us. Here now is the problem. As massive industrial demands increasing, massive store of value demands increasing, people are looking for somewhere to get something out of their dollars that's being devalued every day as they print more of it. And so, as has long been a safe haven for people to hold their savings, precious metals, we're seeing a lot of different things all coming together here now, and it's not looking good for those that are short precious metals. And so it's good for everybody else though. And I saw a bunch of posts over the week, over the Christmas break here now, the 2 days, the boomer metal, right? And the boomer metal's performing way up and crypto bros way down. Sorry to say for you. Old Edward Dowd, he worked in Wall Street a long time. We had him on the show before he became rich and famous on the alternative media circuit. We did have him here on Weaponized News way back in the day. I don't know, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I never even asked him back on since then, talking about the bat stuff, right? But this guy knows his stuff, right? He compiled the exit called the excess death numbers and all of that, proving out a lot about well, we can't even talk about it here on YouTube, a lot about the bat miracle problems, let's just say, right? So anyway, Edward Dowd, he's a Wall Street guy. He made this post. He said, today's 10% move in silver, that's pretty big. I mean, if for those that have watched these markets, for a long time, it's like wear your silver shirt day, right? Anyway, over 10% move in silver today is he said, is a 4 or 5 sigma event. A 3.8 sigma move is the chance that you personally get hit by lightning at least once in your lifetime. So not very likely. You're witnessing history today. And so it is history today here now. And you can go back to just take a look, and it looks even like straight up when you look at it condensed here. The heck is it now? There it is, right? One day, like, damn, dude. Look at that chart. Blowing up the place with their silver. And where we at? The 1 hour mark quickly. Oh, we got to get back. I'm going to read this to you. Where are we at here? We're going to read you what technocracy frontman Elon Musk has to say about the economy, but let's talk about weaponized news economy on our commercial break here. We're very poor over here, reporting 5 days a week, independent reporting and analysis at Weaponized News. Go to weaponizednews.com. Help us out. Help us fund some of the subscriptions that we have to pay for to bring you this broadcast, and help us eat some top ramen this New Year's Eve. Go to weaponizednews.com. Get yourself a sticker. We have 3 stickers over there. Weaponizednews.com. The holograph sticker, the white background, and the clear background. Put it on your laptop, your bumper, your guitar, your work locker, your hard hat. As we've had listeners out there do, we appreciate it. Give us a subscription on Substack. All the links to almost everything we talk about are in our Weaponized News Substack. And you can go there and do further research if you want to expound about what we talk about here at Weaponized News. We try to cover as much as humanly possible in our allotted about 2 hours of time, sometimes a little under, sometimes a little over. Anyhow, we don't have that much time to do deep dives on every subject, which many of them do warrant deep dives for a better understanding about what all we're going in here now in the Great Reset, technocracy taking over. Anyhow, go to weaponizednews.com. It's truly appreciated. The link is right in the description below this video. We take donations on the website. Our Cash App, Buy Me a Coffee link, Bitcoin wallet address, all right here in the description below this video. Give us that like, share, subscribe, push that notification button as we're fighting through the censorship algorithms as per usual at weaponizednews.com. Thank you very much for your support and all the subscribers and all the viewers out there. Okay, welcome back to the second half of Weaponized News on this December 26, 2025 edition. As the year is getting old and we're almost on to the new year, let's take a look at what Elon Musk had to say about the economy, the alleged richest man in the world, as publicly reported here now. So what does he have to say about this as we're going headlong into technocracy? Let's take a look. Elon, the economy's about to go beast mode. Right now, almost all the U.S. growth is coming from tech bros pouring billions into AI servers. Not robots doing your homework or flipping burgers, just wires, chips, and cooling fans. Productivity flat. Non-tech investment dropping. Without the AI hype, the numbers would look pretty sad. But Elon says the AGI, the smart kind of AI, will show up in 5 years and basically run the place. Forget 2% growth. He's calling for 10% soon and 100% in 5 years. Wall Street's still staring at spreadsheets while Elon's already living in 2030. Well, isn't that nice? Hope he's having a sustainable existence there, right? two academic papers actually back his numbers. One says if AGI takes over knowledge work, the economy could double in a decade. Another says we could see 30% growth every year if AI labor is cheap and scales fast. This isn't just Elon tweeting wild stuff. He's got math and factories. So yeah, either the future is Excel 2.0 with mid efficiency gains, or it's Optimus building Optimus while the economy levels up like a video game. Take your pick. Well, I think they've already chosen our path, which is Optimus building weaponized Optimus to terminate you here now. And so they've already made their decision. And we weren't read into this. MAGA, you weren't read into this. Now, were you? EU's fussing. They've been fully deindustrialized in Europe, and now they're fussing about how to make any money, as government doesn't create anything. All the money they've got has been stolen in numerous ways from you and I are left holding the bag to pay the bill for all these maniacs calling themselves government, which is just a masquerade of a crime syndicate. What are they doing now? Well, the taxes aren't enough to fund their crime schemes. So now they're levying fines against American tech companies, and it's hard to defend them, but Europe's in bad shape. The EU in 2024 slapped US tech giants with $3.8 billion in fines. Apple charged $1.84 billion, Google $1.5 billion, Meta $0.4 billion, and others, while all public EU tech companies combined to cough up just $3.2 billion in income tax. And so here's a infographic illustrating how the poor American, but they're not American. That's the problem. They're multinational corporations run by the, or introduced at least, and in large, working directly with the government, technocracy. And so to act like they're great capitalists that just are working in the free enterprise economy, that nothing could be further from the truth, but that's a story they tell us. Here is how the fines on, quote, American, I guess their headquarters here in America, so that makes them American, even though they're multinational corporations that know no borders. Anyhow, here's an infographic to illustrate the failings of the EU. The fines levied against big tech American companies, not American, versus the taxes on all public European tech from 2024. And you can see right there the ridiculous failure of the EU. AI made tech billionaires even richer this year. Is there a bubble? I don't know. A lot of people say there is. What's that? Michael Burry, the big short guy, he's shorting. He shorted NVIDIA, right? Said it's all a giant bubble. And a lot of evidence shows that it's this giant circle jerk of investing, as we just reported Elon Musk even admitting, right? So, but thankfully, it pays well to sell out your soul and humanity. There are 50 new tech billionaires this year because of AI, including 7 co-founders of Anthropic. And so isn't that wonderful for them? Not for you and I, but it's wonderful for them. Despite Elon Musk's promise to slow down government spending as head of Doge, it increased nearly 6%, according to the Brookings Institute. Here's a report out of Yahoo Finance. And again, Doge, red meat for conservatives, small government types, was all a smokescreen to implement technocracy. into your government to streamline all of your data so you can be more efficiently milked and then terminated. U.S. government jobs are down 9% this year, but spending increased 6%. Make it make sense. Well, it all does. It all does when you realize this is all bullshit. And Elon Musk is the public frontman for technocracy. And he was given the keys to your data by Trump. So you could thank Trump in large part for this effort as well. Another giant fraud here, SpaceX. Think about this. People don't, and I didn't until I saw this report. I was like, oh yeah, I kind of did. But SpaceX is the leader of the military industrial complex here now. Oh no, Elon Musk's so cool. He shoots those rockets up that they look like freaking fake videos to me. I don't know. You tell me. It's just, it's that 8K high definition. Okay, I never witnessed it in person. Anyhow, a lot of it looks fake as hell to me. Anyhow, SpaceX, because we got to get off this planet because the bad humans are destroying it and they're going to take us to Mars and something. But hey, Elon Musk doesn't just shoot the rockets. He lands them back here, allegedly. And so it's a great thing. Well, it's actually, SpaceX is the head of the military industrial complex, launching all these satellites, weather balloons, whatever the hell you want to call them, for mass surveillance, Starlink, connecting everybody for mass surveillance of the technocracy. And so SpaceX is the leading company of the military industrial complex at $800 billion in valuation. SpaceX is officially worth more than the top 6 U.S. defense giants put together. Yes, even Lockheed Martin, Boeing, General Dynamics. It's outvaluing. Take a look at this infographic. So all praise Elon Musk and the free speech that we don't have, freedom of speech, not freedom of reach, on his X surveillance platform, social engineering platform known as X. And so we should all praise SpaceX now leading the way as the head of the military industrial complex. There you go. Outpacing all of the old timers here. U.S. defense giants and SpaceX. You can see, stack them all up there. Yep. So it was admitted, last week we read the report here. I read the report where they admit, oh yeah, your electric car, your Tesla, we care about the environment, climate change. It was never even about that. It was meant to map in real time your data, steal as much data as they possibly can to feed into their AI to build technocracy. It's admitted. That's what Tesla is for. They don't give a damn about if you suck on a freaking tailpipe and inhale as much, carbon monoxide as possible and commit suicide that way. They would actually applaud it, you see, because it was never about clean exhaust and caring about the environment. It was about building this massive surveillance grid, as admitted. The real reason that we even have Tesla. Oh, thank you, California, for helping get that project off the ground. Silicon Valley, right? Thank you very much, California. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. State Department, they put this out, today. Somebody probably bought a set post, whatever, because I don't think they're working at the State Department today. Anyhow, President Trump has ushered in a new era of peace through strength. It's literally laughable as they're bombing. President Trump has ushered in a new era of peace through strength because of his commitment to the cause of peace around the world. America is respected again on the world stage, renaming the Donald J. Trump United States Institute of Peace. It's Orwellian, in your face. It's just flat out lies. Everybody should feel insulted by this, but yet MAGA cheers it on like the blind clapping seal ignoramus fools that they are. And so very Orwellian there out of the State Department. On the heels of the news, well, more from, this is what, 2 days ago, President of Peace. They keep telling us as we continue to bomb foreign countries. President of Peace results for America. Ended 8 wars. I do believe there the ceasefire there in Cambodia right now, maybe, possibly, until there's not. NATO 5% spending, U.S. AID reform, historic agreements to secure the border. And see, this is the President of Peace. War on drug cartels. What? They're like literally doing double think in the same post from the White House here now. But yeah, it's peaceful, bro. As they drop bombs on Nigeria on Christmas. And we saw the lobbying from Nicki Minaj at the UN, at the White House, at Turning Point USA. We're all good Christians. This is why we need to go kill these people, you see. And this is all based on intelligence from our lying government. And MAGA cheers it on. I trust the government. It's the same lying government under Biden, under Trump, same lying government. But hey, our guy's in there. Grow up. Grow up. Stop being children. Nigeria averts unilateral U.S. action by cooperating on airstrikes. So they're like, either we bomb the whole damn country or we bomb where we want to. And you say it's wonderful, Nigeria. You know, or ship around, change around the spelling a little bit and call you the hard R. You know what I'm saying? And then just bomb everything. But sadly, Trump announced bombing ISIS there in Nigeria in retaliation for alleged ISIS killings of Christians. Trump's not a Christian. He's an occultist. First off, he don't give a damn about Christians, but the right-wing idiots eat it up. They eat it up. And how you could eat this up is beyond me. But hey, we're bombing for peace for Christians on Christmas, killing people, all the right people, of course, because the government told us so, and we could trust them. Islamic State militants in northwest Nigeria, and they say at the request of Nigeria's government, they're like, either you tell us to do it or we're going to do it and bomb you too. Oh, well. Nigeria is a multi-religious country. We're working with partners like the United States to fight terrorism and protect lives and property. A Nigerian, that was actually a quote from the foreign minister of Nigeria, Tagar, said on Friday, today, after the strikes. Nigeria's population of around 230 million people is roughly evenly divided among Christians who are predominantly residing in the south and Muslims who predominantly reside in the north. And then here's the announcement by the Nigerian government. So I guess we can't complain. They signed off on it. It's none of our business. Somehow we're led to believe Trump cares about Christians in Nigeria. Bullshit. Straight up bullshit. U.S. strikes ISIS in Nigeria after Trump warned of attacks on Christians. Really? Here's video of it. Islamic State, West Africa province, not a local militia, not generic extremist, the official ISIS franchise in West Africa, recognized by ISIS leadership, operating as part of their global network, again, set up by Western intelligence. That's beside the point. Some damn dirty Muslims over there. Islamic State, West Africa province, split from Boko Haram in 2016. Remember, was that stupid campaign, Comey? Remember that thing? You got to go invade over there. Remember that whole crazy psyop? In 2016, specifically to pledge allegiance to ISIS's caliphate. They're not ideologically adjacent. They're originally integrated. Though they're originally integrated, some command structure, some objectives, and some targeting doctrine. What they do, systemic attacks on Christian villages, churches, and clergy, mass executions, kidnappings, forced conversions, seize territory, impose Islamic State governance, forced displacement of entire communities. This isn't random acts of violence. It's organized genocide, according to some U.S. officials. U.S. officials have explicitly warned of genocide risk, but they turn a blind eye to aardvark genocide. That's perfectly fine. But we love those Christians in Nigeria. Let me tell you, it's just bullshit. It's bullshit. Okay. The strikes weren't preventative. They were a response to ongoing slaughter of Christians, is what's being widely reported. Well, it's what our government is telling us. And then here's Trump on Christmas. This is sick. This is a dark occultist mockery of Christians, as the majority cheered on. It's a very sad state of affairs we find ourselves in here now at the end of 2025. I'm sure Jesus would approve of this violence, right? Tonight, at my discretion, this is yesterday, as Commander-in-Chief, the United States launched a powerful and deadly strike against ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria, who have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years and even centuries. I have previously warned these terrorists that if they did not stop slaughtering of Christians, there would be hell to pay, and tonight there was. The Department of War executed numerous perfect strikes, as only the United States is capable of doing. And let me finish this. Under my leadership, our country will not allow radical Islamic terrorism to prosper. May God bless our military, and Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists, of which there are many more if their slaughter of Christians continues. Aardvarks are bombing the hell out of Christians right there in Lebanon and Gaza right now, and mum's the word. But tell me some more how much you care about innocent Christians. They're occultist Trump. It's just all total bullshit, and you can see the mockery in the post here now. I'm begging you to see through the lies of this dark occultist Trump. He's an actor, and this is bullshit. Department of War. Yeah, Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists. They put out a little video, not much. They're launching missiles off of a ship there and whacking them, essentially. Department of War. Where are we at here? Half hour. I wanted to get in this section to the Department of War. We're not going to get to it. We're not going to get to it because we got 1 year of MAHA to get to. We're going to have to circle back to the year in the Department of War review, Peace Through Strength, very Orwellian, as we launch a new war on drug cartels. You saw that post. They said it in the same post. Calls that doublethink and literally laugh in your face. So this president of peace, Trump, as we're told, has launched military strikes just this year in his second term. 1 year in, America has launched bombing campaigns against Iran, Syria, Somalia, Yemen, Iraq, Nigeria, ships, alleged drug traffickers in the Caribbean Sea and the other side of the land, the Pacific, and constant threats against Venezuela. And so that's your president of peace that's caused peace in 8 wars, he claims. They leave all this reporting out, though. Now you see, because they're doing the same old thing. Same old program. Same old program. Except for now, it's to cement the foundation of technocracy. You see, as we continue to explain here now. And promises made, not so much kept here now by the Trump administration. They promised mass deportations. 327,000 is the number from the government as of November 14th. 327,000 are how many have been deported here now. And it's a massive failure. Was there 20, 30, 40 million illegal aliens here in America? The Trump administration, Mr. Law and Order, Mr. Deportation, has only managed to muster 327,000 deportations this year. And along the way, eroding our civil liberties and privacy as fast as they possibly can, implementing all this AI, surveillance, anything to get the illegals that they're not even getting. So massive failure, massive lies out of ICE Barbie, out of Department of Homeland Security, and Trump administration themselves. They're the head of it, Trump. 327,000 deported. A complete and utter failure. Another lie by the Trump administration. Okay, on to MAHA. Many say that the partnership there between Bobby Kennedy Jr., MAHA, and Trump, MAGA, is what pushed Trump over the top to actually win, which made no damn sense. They ran Kamala, literally the worst candidate you could possibly find, and somehow they cheer this as a great victory. Anyhow, if you even believe in elections, how you possibly could at this point, I don't know. Many out there still do. I feel bad for you. Anyhow, let's take a year in review of public health. Year 1 of MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. We're still waiting on, they're hemming and hawing around the edges, the miracles, but we still need to actually, we've covered it here in depth. We've got banned for covering it. So still missing the miracles by a long shot. But here is year of Make America Healthy Again. Let's take a look at what they did, actually. Well, they say Jan, Trump, king of liars. Indeed, Trump, con man extraordinaire. So what did they do? He's the president of peace, as he continuing bombing campaigns around the world. Okay, MAHA. What's Bobby Kennedy Jr. doing there as Secretary of Health and Human Services? Well, let's take a look. By the numbers, 37 states have implemented legislation advancing the MAHA agenda. That's very vague. 18 states SNAP waivers have been signed. You can't buy, allegedly, you can't buy junk food with your SNAP benefits in 18 states. 40% of food industry has pledged to remove synthetic food dyes. Let's watch a MAHA wins video from your government Health and Human Services Department.
Get Kellogg's new Sugar Smacks.
Behind closed doors, special interests thrive.
It's a better cigarette.
While the health of our nation collapsed.
There is grim news today about the state of America's health.
76.4% of Americans now have a chronic disease.
Rates of obesity have continued to rise over the last few decades.
8 out of 10 of our kids cannot qualify for military service. This is a national security issue.
A new study shows thyroid cancer and kidney cancer are on the rise among American children.
When my uncle was president, we spent $0 on chronic disease. Today, we spend $1.3 trillion.
America youth, you have a choice. Either have diabetes or go die in an illegal foreign war of aggression.
Autism rates have hit a record high, according to new CDC data released this week.
Chronic disease ran rampant. Our children's health was put at risk, and Washington stood by and watched.
Senator, you've presided here, I think, for 32 years. You've presided over the destruction of the health of the American people.
Well,
our people are now the sickest people in the world.
Seriously.
Because you have not done your job.
But the American people demanded change. They voted to take back their health.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr., we're joining forces to defeat government corruption, restore free speech, and make America healthy again. We're going to make America healthy again, you know?
Under President Trump and Secretary Kennedy's leadership, the movement to make America healthy again has begun and made historic progress. At the Department of Health and Human Services, the greatest minds have come together to end regulatory capture and fix what Washington broke, but most importantly, to end the chronic disease epidemic. Dr. Jay Bhattacharya at NIH, Dr. Marty McCary at FDA, Dr. Mehmet Oz at CMS, and Secretary Kennedy leading the charge at HHS. Together, this all-star team is rebuilding America's health with historic wins. We're stopping the use of taxpayer dollars to buy junk food that makes Americans sick. Nearly 100 MAHA bills have been passed in states across the country. We're ending the loophole that lets untested chemicals sneak into your food. We're restoring mothers' trust by removing heavy metals from baby formula. We're bringing honesty back to vaccine safety. No politics, no profits, no mandates, just transparency, informed patient consent, and real gold standard science. We're investigating the root causes of autism, delivering answers to the families the government has long avoided. We're rewriting America's dietary guidelines to put health, not industry, first. We're cleaning up America's food. No more toxic dyes, only safe, natural ingredients. We're restoring honesty in drug ads so Americans get facts, not Big Pharma's deceptive spin. We launched a new transparency tool to restore integrity and trust back to the Organ Procurement and Transplantation Network. Under President Trump's direction, we're using data and AI to fast-track diagnostics, treatments, and cures for pediatric cancer, because every child deserves a chance to grow up. MAHA isn't about party lines and politics. It's about the health of our nation, our children, and our future. So join us. Take back your health, and together, we can make America healthy again.
No one gets in trouble. They just told you massive crimes being committed against the population here. That one really flies under the radar. Oh yeah, American hospitals are terminating people and harvesting their organs for profit. All admitted here now. No one gets in trouble amongst many others. Many other crimes. No one ever gets in trouble. What do they say? lowering prescription drug prices, bringing back physical fitness, dairy industry pledges to remove artificial dyes, restoring biological truth. The feds are not going to fund gender-affirming care for minors any longer. Withdrawing from the World Health Organization. And then a Democrat's going to get in there and put us right back under them. And they now have that, the global pandemic framework, whatever the terminology they're using, where everybody's on board lockstep like we already saw. I don't even know why they needed this, even more lockstep than during the bat times. Cleaning up public drinking water. They should be focusing on that. There has been wins, not by the government, by the Fluoride Action Network to get fluoride out of the public drinking water supply. They're not championing that. They say cleaning up public drinking water. Well, should be a little bit more specific there. They go on removing mercury from miracles, and no one gets in trouble. Oh yeah, we admit it's a highly toxic. It's a highly deadly neurotoxin, and but yeah, no one gets in trouble. Oh yeah, it's been in your miracles for a very long time. Making infant formula safe. How's this a win? You know what I mean? It's like ending big pharma deception, and again, a lot of this we'll get to. They're blocking it already. Doging HHS. There you go. And all of this is pipeline to technocracy, you see. Don't get fooled. Don't get conned. Expanding MAHA to Head Start. Overhauling the GRAS standard. And so what? Like no one gets in trouble. Oh, they're knowingly putting toxins. If you and I knowingly put a toxin in the neighbor's food supply, we're going to jail for a long time, as we should. These companies, just laugh about it. You know what I mean? Restoring integrity to federal benefits, that's laughable. Removing bat miracles, removing bat miracle from childhood pregnancy schedule. Religious exemptions from childhood miracles. Of course, they released the big MAHA report. We covered that. Strengthening rural health, restoring trust to organ transplant systems. Again, public service announcement. If you're an organ donor, remove it from your license now. What do they say? Protecting children. Of course, it's always about the children. Protecting parents' rights. Recommendation for childhood Hep B miracle. Shedding light on invisible diseases. Tackling the autism epidemic. AI-backed childhood cancer research. And advancing women's health. And there's your big one. The AI as the head of the CDC, old Mr. Taylor, is that his name? That's his name. O'Neill. Sorry, O'Neill. Is Mr. Technocracy right there. You know what I mean? So but hey, a judge blocks enforcement of food dye ban in West Virginia. The law banning additives that are poisonous or injurious was not scheduled to go into effect until 2028. So you can live within a couple of years, right? It's cool. International Association of Color Manufacturers argued the ban violated the U.S. Constitution, and this clown world judge agreed. Judge Irene Berger agreed and is now blocked. Keep on eating your petroleum-based synthetic dyes. It's in the Constitution. It's for your health. Like how and a bunch of this other stuff's going to get challenged in court as well. And hell, just being a Democrat-run state over here in like California, the whole West Coast, they say we don't even listen to the feds anymore. We're on our own thing. We're our own. because we care about your health. You know what I mean? And you're like, here's the study says fluoride's a neurotoxin. Oh, it's from Harvard. You know what I mean? Gold standard science, and they scream it in your face. You're like, here's the study saying it damages children's IQ, and it's a neurotoxin. Gold standard science, and scream it. They're like, nah, who cares about that? Drink your fluoride, kids. You know what I mean? So that's what we're up against here now. It's a very sad state of affairs, as has been for ever since the introduction of Rockefeller medicine, as is designed. Get you chronically ill, bankrupt you, and terminate you in the most efficient way possible. And maybe along the way, they can harvest an organ here and there if you're lucky, right? Okay, on to cover that. I believe, I don't know, MAGA, to me, MAHA falling way short, and this whole, and they're just technocracy, man. Look at the head of the CDC here now. And we can't trust any of these characters, sadly. I wish we could. I wish we could. I wish I believed they're genuine. I just simply don't. We'll see. I'll praise Trump if he ends the Federal Reserve, and I'll praise old Bobby Kennedy Jr. here now if he ends the miracles. Neither of which will happen, but if they do, I'll be their biggest fan, cheerleader. Say all of my criticism was wrong, and I'll praise them and get their friggin' tattoo. It'll never happen, though. It'll never happen, because this is a giant stage show of political theater to placate a potential freaking revolt by the peasants, you see, because it's real bad. It's real bad what they've done to us here now. Continuing on to geopolitical news. What are we going to do? Russia, Ukraine? I don't know. Zelensky's coming to visit Trump and Bibi, our shadow president. A Nazi and a Zionist walk into Mar-a-Lago. It's not a joke. It's reality. That's coming up later this week or next week. China not so happy. China? Yeah, China. China sanctions Boeing. So two could play at the sanctions game, right? As America sanctions everybody. And if you try to go around the sanctions, you're a damn terrorist, and they'll whack you. And sanctions are an economic act of war. China sanctions Boeing over $11 billion Taiwan arms deal, the largest in history, then calls Taiwan a red line that must not be crossed. They're not happy. They're in China about arming up Taiwan that we have continually reported on here. China's response to the $11 billion Taiwanese arms deal just brokered by the Trump administration last week. China's response sanctioned 20 U.S. defense firms, including Boeing, Northrop Grumman, and L3 Harris, froze their Chinese assets, banned travel to mainland Hong Kong, prohibited Chinese business dealings, also sanctioned Palmer Luckey, personally, of Oculus, the Oculus founder turned defense tech billionaire running Anduril. What else about it? Yeah, so they're two could play the sanction game, and you're not going to have access to that giant billion-plus people Chinese market. All for this arms deal with Taiwan. And so China's not just going to lay down and take arming up Taiwan. Launching some economic war at our military industrial complex here. Little Marco Rubio had this to say. It's just they're getting very extremely Orwellian. The United States is concerned by recent events in southeastern Yemen. We urge resistant and continued or restraint and continued diplomacy with a view to reaching a lasting solution. We are grateful for the diplomatic leadership of our partners, Saudi Arabia, UAE, remain supportive of all our efforts to advance our shared security interests. As the Western intelligence is in there in Yemen, trying to foment some type of civil war, revolt going on there continually and striking them. But hey, we bombed the hell out of Yemen. Nobody cares. Looks like we lost to Yemen. But yeah, keep on bombing to no avail. The Houthis there in Yemen. Okay. Yeah, Syria mosques. There's a mosque in Syria. A bomb blew up there, sadly, killing 8 people, injuring 27. Looks like, quote, radical jihadists are behind it. Again, created by Western intelligence. Russia. Russia's not the panacea of freedom, obviously. Russia police detained about 70 members of a, quote, radical sect for praying for Zelensky's health at a meeting in St. Petersburg. It's being reported here now. And so doesn't Jesus tell us that we need to pray for our enemies? Not very Christian there on Christmas of the Russians. Putin, the most evil man in the world, YouTube. Putin told business leaders Russia could consider limited territorial swaps in Ukraine, but insist on full control of the Donbas region. And many in the EU say they did not see that coming. So we're still waiting. Peace there, maybe, possibly. No. Meetings again with America, Ukraine, Russia, something, maybe, possibly. No. Russia's likely deploying Orezhnik hypersonic ballistic missile systems at a former air base in eastern Belarus, which could enhance Russia's ability to strike European targets, according to a report out of Reuters. Of course, they would say they could always strike European targets. I guess this makes it a little bit more strikeable. The Orezhnik there. Allegedly indefensible, right? Indefensible hypersonic missiles, the Orezhnik, being rolled out to combat duty now by Russia. And so things, we'll see. Maybe the guy we voted for, Kushner, can broker a peace deal there now for the rebuilding of Ukraine through his firms. Hopefully he can profit handsomely off the deal, right? And BlackRock too, of course. That war needs to end. But hey, if they wouldn't have rigged the elections in 2020, it would have never happened, right? It's the lies Trump tells us. So there's a ceasefire there in Gaza, peace in the Middle East for the first time in 3,000 years, according to Trump. Turns out they have a different glossary, dictionary, understanding of words in the language than we do in English, because the ceasefire there means stacking bodies. In the past 48 hours, 1 new dead, 2 recovered from the rubble, 16 injuries reported there in the past 48 hours. Merry Christmas, Gaza. The ceasefire not holding since the ceasefire was officially announced October 11, 2025 this year. We've seen 410 dead Palestinians, 1,134 injured, and 654 recovered from the rubble. And that is your, I got some in my throat language, meaning of ceasefire, apparently. Maybe someone can buy them an English translation dictionary and get our definitions of words on the same page here now. Yes, they're bombing the hell, as every day. Heavy artillery fire into southern Gaza, bombing Lebanon continually, here and there, bombing into Syria, the West Bank, 3 consecutive attacks on settlers, by settlers in the West Bank. Those attacks continue. So every day, heavy artillery fire, helicopter chain gunnings. Let's watch this. This is a flashback to 2024. A priest being spat on and threatened in Jerusalem by an aardvark. You have no right to spit on me, the priest says. The attacker responds, because they are Christians, that is what I do to them. Huh? I thought no, never mind that. Priest says, this is what they taught you? And the aardvark says, F Jesus, F Jesus. I'm sure this is an isolated incident. No, it's kind of how it goes there. Standard operating procedure.
Verabschieden wir uns aus Jerusalem.
That I know for the police that you were attacking me.
But you cannot do this.
Don't take a picture, take it down.
You know, come on, this is not, you are touching me, you have no right to touch me, you have no right to spit on me. Hey, come on. Could you make a picture of him? It's very good. No, he spit on me. You know, he spit on me and he touched me. You know, because you know the police is always asking. Then you know I need a picture of his face.
בוא תצלם אותי, שרמוטה, בוא. אל תיגע בי, אתה תסתום את הפה שאני לא פעם אותך לפה, לגבי שלא תסתום אותי, תזדהר ממני. כן. שלא יפי לי לקומר כקומר אחי, כי הם נוצרים אחי, וזה מה שאני אעשה להם.
This is what they told you.
Fucking Yeshu.
And so that's how they roll there. Remember old retired cop, Zionist propaganda, black dude, Tatum, big MAGA guy. Remember he went over there, they spit on him, and they're, oh, that was an accident. No, that's standard operating procedure. Here's Shadow President of America, Bibi. Says the only country in the region offering Christians full rights and total freedom. I can't even play it, but turns out he was a community noted there on the X with this over this claim. Christians can freely worship in aardvark land, but it isn't the only Middle Eastern country where that's possible. Jordan, Lebanon, and others also have established Christian communities with recognized religious rights. Who cares? Listen to this guy. Genocidal, homicidal maniac with international arrest warrants against him for genocide and war crimes. Listen to him, you see, because he's shadow president of America. And it'd be antiseptic to do anything else. Aardvark land officially recognizes Somaliland as an independent state. Let's take a look at it on the map. What does this mean? Well, it means they want to take this area right here. And here's the old Somalia, not Minnesota. This is the actual Somalia there off the coast of Africa. And So they say this right here is where America had boots on the ground, Marine boots on the ground, hardly reported at all, to kill ISIS-K caveman, we're told, right near this area in Somalia, Puntland. And so now Somaliland has been officially recognized as the Republic of Somaliland, a full independent state by Aardvark Land. And Yemen's right here, right? So they want to, control this area. Turns out, not everybody's so happy about that. Somalia says Aardvark Land's move to recognize Somaliland is illegal, void, and a direct attack on its sovereignty. Well, there's just ISIS terrorists. Who cares? Bomb them more, right? Somali's government, and then import them over here and wonder why they're doing all this fraud and crime and could give a damn about America. I know, it's puzzling, isn't it? Somali's government immediately rejected it as a deliberate attack on Somalia's sovereignty, an unlawful action null and void under international law. Yeah, who cares? They're terrorists, right? The African Union has declared its rejection of any recognition of Somaliland. Here's that press release from the African Union. So, are they just going to be able to seize Somaliland? Turkey is not pleased with this. Aardvark Land's recognition of Somaliland aims to create instability on both regional and global levels. Turkey's foreign minister's office stated in a press release. Here's that. Turkey's not having it either. There you go. Doesn't it matter? It doesn't matter, you see. Yeah, Netanyahu coming to America, meeting with Kushner. And then they keep it. Now they're saying in these reports, this one's out of the Axios. Remember, they're always floating the idea, oh, there's a rift. There's a rift between Bibi and Trump. No, actually, they're freaking like this. But now a report out of Axios says there's a rift in the White House. The only friend of Bibi here now, Kushner, Rubio, Vance, even Susie Wiles, are all turning on Bibi. I don't believe any of that. That's what Axios is reporting, to act like these people have some conscience, like they're humans, like they're not freaking possessed by evil. And so they are now pushing. And so Bibi's only friend now in America is Trump, is what this Axios report is saying. I'm calling bullshit on this. That's what they're saying. Bullshit, Axios. As we await another visit to Mar-a-Lago from Bibi, Shadow President of America. Where are we at here? Yeah. Here's some footage of the northern Gaza Strip so you could see the scale of destruction. They still haven't let international journalists in there to document the true scale of destruction. Here's a video so you can take a look with snipers on the ridge waiting to whack anybody that could have possibly survived this destruction. Let's take a look. Shots from northern Gaza.
זו ג'באליה, זה בית החולים האינדונזי.
Yeah, they leveled the whole place. They leveled the whole place, and they're continuing to level the whole place. Yeah, every day, heavy artillery fire being reported. And so they set up, they keep shrinking it, right? We keep showing the map of Gaza keeps getting smaller, smaller, smaller. The yellow line, that is now the new border. Every day, they sit right outside that alleged new border. I guess it is the new border, or they shoot you in the face, and heavy artillery fire being reported. Aardvark helicopters open chain machine gun firing into southern Gaza. And it continues, but hey, what the hell? First time we've had peace in 3,000 years there in the Middle East, according to Trump. There's a ceasefire. We're looking at how we're going to implement phase 2 as they continue to stack the bodies there, as we continue to report here. The atrocity of the genocide and war crimes that continue there in Gaza. And again, they're using it as a military laboratory. They admit as much to bring all of this back home to you, to implement the technocracy for those dissenters. And with that, we're going to wrap up at the 2-hour mark here. The natives are getting restless over here for me. Thank you for joining us on this Friday edition of Weaponized News. I think we covered quite a bit, as much as we could get out on this quasi-holiday Friday. We didn't see any major drops of information, just a lot of doublethink and Orwellian talk coming out of the Department of War and the Trump administration as per usual. But it's just naked. How in one post they can say President of Peace, war on cartels. Bzzz. Stuff drives me crazy, as is designed. For anybody paying attention that has a conscience, for the rest, MAGA cheered on like hopping seals. They'll come for you soon enough. And with that, let's go to the channels and check out who, if anybody, is on the old Odysee here now, as we're slow loading. A few people over there. Gurr. Oh, yeah, quite a chat going on over there. Fat Bob, Gurr, John, shout out to you guys. The depopulation agenda is served by all those murders. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. Oh, it's just misspelling. I see. Time Magazine. Too dumb to be believed. Lively chat over there. Thank you guys for keeping that lively. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in where you can, keeping the chats going over there on the Odysee. Appreciate it. Yeah, the natives are restless, so I got to go. Well, thank you. We're trying our best to keep the kids happy here now. All right, thank you guys on the Odysee, the Kick, Twitch, X, Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube. Quite a lively chat on the Rumble. Thank you, everybody, for chiming in there, and the YouTube as well. 150 years of silver market manipulation. Something broke, man. Something broke, and I believe we're going to see repercussions. And it was a black swan event for those short silver and gold, that's for sure. And just feels like no matter what good we can get, they find a way to manipulate it and hurt us. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Look for banks failing potentially and more government bailouts. Who's to know? But indeed, a history-making event here now with the record high price of silver. Praise God for that. All right, with quite lively chats. Thank you everybody for tuning in there. I see Chloe, Denver, many others on the Rumble D2T. Thank you very much. Jan, thank you guys for chatting it up, keeping it alive. We'll be back here on Monday. Special time. We'll have Simon again with us on Monday. Reminder to everybody, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern, live, or catch the replay on Monday. We'll have Simon on. We'll do some deep dives into geopolitical affairs. I'm sure a lot will transpire here now over the weekend. Maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. Let's pray for peace and pray that maybe somehow, some way, people will stop equating Trump to freedom and America, and not just a puppet and see him for what he is, a con man puppet of technocracy. And with that, as always, everybody do your own research, peace, love, and freedom. Speak out and take action. Have a great rest of your Friday evening and weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday